Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to the channel. It is Wednesday 22nd of January 2020. Don't forget to hit the sub button if you haven't already subscribed, and remember to like the video if you enjoyed it at the end of the video, or you can leave a comment down below. Don't forget to do all those good things. It's quite a nice day. You can see hardly a cloud in the sky. A few just starting to appear over the other side of the tractor here. We've had a couple of days kind of like this now, where it's been a little less cold. Over the weekend we had a good bit of frost, but it's been a little milder the last few days now, and we're hopefully hoping that this milder weather will, or even cold weather will stick with us for another while. Anything is better than the rain this time of year, so a few dry days is always a bonus. So what are we going to do today? We're going to have a look at the diet feeder. So this is the diet feeder that was parked out in the field for 5 or 6 years, unused. A lot of people, it used to be parked a couple of years ago. It was parked up along the entrance into the yard, and people used to be asking me, why have you got 2 diet feeders? What's the other diet feeder? And I never really addressed where it come from or what it was until just before Christmas. I pulled this out, we hosed it all down, cleaned it up, and we had some work to do on it. So some of the work has been done to it. Now, we didn't do it ourselves. We hadn't got time. We could have probably done it ourselves, but we just hadn't got time at the minute. So we sent it away to a neighbour who does this kind of work, and he got it done then. It was left down with him before Christmas, and he just completed it in the last day or two, and here we are, we have it back. So we're going to have a wee look around it. We'll see what has he done to it so far, see what have we still to do to it, and yeah, we'll kind of go from there. We'll have a general look at it and see how it's progressing. So let's get stuck into it. So we had a number of issues that we had to address on this machine. First one was the main reason we stopped using this machine, as I mentioned in the video before Christmas, the door. We had some issues with the door. 2 things happened. First thing that happened was this little runner down along the bottom, it got wore, which meant that the door was dropping down and coming out a little further than it should here. Second thing that happened was the door bent a little bit. Probably overloaded the feeder a few times. Probably at the start when you didn't really know how much you could put in it. And sometimes it can be hard, especially at the start of a season, depending on your silage. You know yourself, if you have silage that is cut in damp conditions, a block of silage could weigh 300 kilos or it could weigh 600 kilos. So sometimes if you had very dry silage, you put it in, you were aiming it to get so much, so the cattle eat so many kilos of silage per day. It's hard. It's just initially for those first couple of weeks to judge what way your silage is can be awkward. So you could throw 2 tons of silage into this machine, and it could be the same as having 2 tons of dry silage. It could be the same as having bloody 4 tons of wet silage. So it was probably overloaded a couple of times, and I've seen it stopping the tractor a few times. You never had the tractor revved up that full, but it would stop it, and that would have probably bent the door out a wee bit a couple of times that happened. But it wasn't really that done it. It was a combination of a few different things. It was the fact that the door bent out. It was the fact that this here was wore. And what will happen is then, rather than the door being up in this slot there is here, little slot here, it dropped down out of it. So it dropped down out of it. You can actually see there's the mark where it jumped out past it, and it bent the door when it was closing it. So that was the main reason we stopped using it. We had the second feeder purchase. We had it for a couple of years, just sitting in the shed. So when this happened, this feeder, pulled the other feeder out, started using it. So that's kind of the story on what happened, that we stopped using it. So it wasn't really anything mechanically that was wrong with the feeder. It was just that there was that issue with the door and a couple of things that had wore a little bit. So yeah, our engineering man took the door off. The door was straightened, obviously. Some new straighteners put onto it. It all straightened up, that it shouldn't bend again, and yeah, just generally tightened it up, straightened it all up, and made a good job of it. What else did he do to it now around the front of it? He put a new part here of steel on the runner that goes right along the bottom here. So the runner now, or the little guide that holds the door in place at the bottom, has been fixed. So that's another good point on it now. So the door shouldn't do what it done the last time. A few other things that happened was that here where the silage comes out at the side, you can see this new piece of steel has been put in here. Along there I had all weekend, just from silage coming in and out all the time, or well, not going in, but all coming out all the time. It always wears along here and along the bottom, so put a whole new piece of hardock steel in it. You can see it goes right across to here, new weld right the whole way down, and so it goes right down past the bottom part of the doorway, and yeah, it's welded right the whole way across down the bottom. So there's been a whole strand of piece put right the whole way around, even along here. It has all been replaced, and it has just more or less rejuvenated that whole area of the feeder that was a little bit weak. This feeder was lined, as I mentioned before. You can see the lining in there. I mentioned on the video. You can see that line that runs right along the feeder, whole way down. So it was completely relined about 2 years before we stopped using it, and yeah, it still wore. It had wore this piece away, but the rest of the feeder there would be no issue with that end of it. You know, it was hardock steel that was put into it, folded hardock steel. So it was we actually done that ourselves and put it into it, and yeah, that it has many more years of use still on it for that. With that, what else now did we get done to it? Yes, this here then, when he was doing the bit of work here at this here had broken off. He had to just re-weld that back on. Trying to see what other wee bits had to be done around it. Oh yeah, the mudguard, the brackets here, I think was it bent up a little bit, or no? I tell you what had to be done. The mudguard had to come off it to fix the runner that goes right along here at the bottom that holds the door. So the mudguard was taken off, so the mudguard then had to be re-welded back on. And that's really everything around the door. So it's been completely strengthened back up now, and a real nice job has been made of it. So that is that. Right, we'll go around the far side. I think there was a wee bit around the far side that also had to be done. Now, so we'll just go around the far side and have a little look at the far side of what had to be done. Tanko still looking fairly well after it was washed. Haven't done any slurry yet, but it is coming soon. Hopefully maybe mix some tanks tomorrow or Friday, and we'll start to get a little bit of slurry out, hopefully. So you can see I did wash this, but it's covered in dust now from the bit of sandblasting and stuff that was done over the far side. Yeah, what had to be done here? Yes, we had a little there's a little bit of a plate comes out here that Abbey puts on them to strengthen up the whole machine, just to hold everything tight. And we had noticed that it had split along here, so we just got that taken out, put a heavier bit of steel onto it, welded it up just to strengthen it. That really, I think, is basically what had to be done to it for now. We had the door here taken off. The door had a little bit of rust on the bottom of it, and I'm going to get a little bit of a job done on that, maybe just tidy up the bottom of it as well, you know, just to help all the cosmetics of it. And then it's really just a case of getting the new chain, which it hasn't come yet, but it should be here in the next week or so. We're going to get a new chain for it. We have a PTO shaft for it, and it'll be a matter then of get the chain on it, get it running, and see how it works. I am going to, as I said, take a little bit of this here stuff off. There's a bit of just flaky rust in it. I'm going to give it a run of maybe a sanding disc, something like that, on everywhere that it's a wee bit flaky. Put a bit of primer on it, spray a bit of primer on it, and I will give it a coat, even just with a paintbrush, just to tidy it up. It'll not be exactly the same colour. It'll be brighter. You know, this colour here has faded. Like, no matter what you do, it has faded. So it is going to be a little bit of a different colour, but look, it'll be better looking than rust. That's the way I look at it. What else have I for it? With the PTO shaft, it is there. We also have, there's a little square bit of box action that welds on, that bolts on here and comes out, that the hoses come out of. And we have one of those there as well. We'll stick that onto it. What else is there? That's really it. There is a set of rubbers around the top of this that I'm taking off. I'm going to put them on our own feeder. We've been threatening to do that for quite a while. So they won't be going with it when it goes for sale. So that's really about it. Like, with all the work now that's done to it, like all the big jobs that had to be done to it are more or less all done now. It's just a bit of cosmetic stuff and get the chain on it and just get it up and running. And like now, as I say, with everything now that's done to it, for the next owner, it should give many years of service going forward. Like it's a good feeder, and anything now that needed to be done to it will be done to it. So yeah, it's better than it lying out in the field rusting away. Yeah, so I suppose the next videos you'll see on it will be probably maybe the bit of cosmetic stuff. We'll be sticking the chain on, and then we'll also be putting on the PTO shaft on it as well. So and just getting it running. We'll put a few loads of silage through it. We'll feed the cattle with it maybe for a few days, just to check it out, make sure everything's all right before we do put it up for sale. So that's it. Yeah, so slurry, hopefully in the next day or so, it'll be a mixing video up initially, and then we'll get a couple of videos then maybe actually the spreading going on, and just what's happening and how we're getting on with it. So hopefully it'll stay dry for that. Yeah, so as always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the sub button, leave a comment down below, and hit the like button as well. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.